fuel from one place to another. All of that the federal government can help with and will help with, although the industry is pretty good at doing that. And it's granted a temporary waiver so that you can ship oil products by tanker to places like New York, where it's usually prohibited. So as far as I can tell, so far in the early stages, they've been on top of it, the Biden administration. And they've done the things that you're supposed to do. It's going to get much more complicated as we move along, and the challenges will be great, and they're not going to get everything right. And neither would have any administration. Neither would have Obama or Trump or Bush or anyone. Again, it's sort of like the pandemic. This is a novel thing we're dealing with. The only good thing is, I do know that Colonial and these pipelines have been through tabletop exercises, and they planned for this. This is not like, oh my goodness, I never thought this would happen. Just the opposite. They were waiting for it to happen, which will help now in the amelioration of it. The pipeline itself begins in Houston, Texas, and it ends up in Linden, New Jersey. So, got a little map here. And we'll put a better one up on the screen also. So it begins here in Houston, about right here. And it goes all the way, and it goes through its the state of its headquarters, Alpharetta, Georgia. And it comes up like this through Virginia, here, and right up here, basically to New York Harbor. It also has a, let's call it two small lines. It has several small lines, but it does bring in another state and an important one. So it has two small lines running into Tennessee, but it supplies a significant amount of the fuel for the state of Tennessee. So that's the route. Along that route travels 100 million gallons of fuel per day to all the states that are part of the pipeline built below their surface, and also then the smaller pipelines. There also are a couple of other offlines that go into the states that are already serviced. So that has now been closed down. We don't know exactly when it's going to reopen, and we've put up for you to see a more artistic map than that one. But I thought it would be good if we could just show it to you, and you get an idea of the scope of this. Again, that's 45% of the fuel needs of those states that I just showed. It includes the District of Columbia, by the way. And it services private companies. It services hospitals. It services the gigantic airport in Atlanta, which is one of the biggest in the country, if not in the world. It services, I believe, one of the airports in Washington, D.C. It services some of the federal agencies, some of the important federal agencies, and it services also quite substantial all the way up in New York, which is at the end of the pipeline, and so if this lasts more than a couple of days, which it seems like it is, the first impact will be felt in Atlanta and in Tennessee. If it goes beyond that, if it goes into a week or more, everyone's going to be affected, including New York. And the price of gasoline is already going up. The estimates I see say it might go as high as $3 per gallon. I tend to think that's kind of conservative. If this lasts for a while, I think it can go up much higher than that, but let's hope. Let's hope not. We want to be optimistic, right? So how did this happen? A group calling itself the Dark Side, which is a new cyber hacking ransomware company or gang, appeared out of nowhere in about, I think I have this right, in August of 2020. That's just a little while ago. It's already done some very, very successful hacks. We don't know how much it's collected, We do know that it published compromising information on 40 different companies. That's a lot in that short period of time. And the way it works is DarkSide does not do the actual operation. It's DarkSide software and ransomware that is used in the operation. And they act more or less as the general contractor. And they bring in what they call an affiliate as their partner, and the affiliate carries out the penetration, the encryption, and the theft of data. So Colonial has acknowledged in a circuitous way its involvement in this. Colonial says that the attack, although substantial, has just been on the business systems of Colonial. And there's no real contradiction of that. And there's no reason to believe that it went beyond that. So that's a very, very serious breach, and it can be enormously disruptive. I guess the one piece of good news is they didn't